everybody, and welcome back to Betty Easy YouTube channel. As we can see, we have a guest right here with us. I'm sorry, guys, I'm losing my voice. And welcome, Liz, to my channel.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be on the show today.
Okay, we are so grateful to have you today. And guys, today Liz will be sharing her story and tell us more about this K1 visa. So, Liz, would you start please with introducing yourself? Who are you? Where do you come from?
Thank you so much. So I go by Roll with Liz on my YouTube channel if you need to check me out. And I'm originally born and raised in Uganda, but now live in Colorado, USA. And
Yes.
I came on a K1 visa or fiancé visa, which we're about to chat about today. Thank you for having me, Betty. I appreciate.
Okay, so you are from, were you born and raised in Colorado?
In Uganda.
Uganda, okay, all right. You know, some people here are my viewers. They travel to Uganda. Do you mind to tell us which part of Uganda?
So I grew up in the city, which is Kampala, but I am born born in the village. It's in the western part of Uganda. It's called Kanungu. It's a very small district, mountainous, full of hills, very green, and it's where you find also these amazing parks. We have a national park over there, and it has beautiful gorillas. It's amazing. You should try to visit Uganda.
Okay, and then how is Colorado? How is it? The weather? Does it snow there?
It snows so much. So when it snows, it really does snow. And also when now it's summertime, so it's pretty much the same as where you are in Arizona. But I'm thinking it's overly hot in Arizona. That's why people say, I don't know, I haven't been there.
My goodness, right now it's I believe the temperature right now it's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
And I think this week it's gonna be up to 117. I'm not too sure, but it's been extremely hot.
Cool. Yeah, that can be, I don't know, it can be something, but you just get used to it.
Yeah, you don't get used to it. I believe that's the way you don't get used to the snow, but it's you kind of you deal with it, right?
Yeah.
So please kindly share with us about this K1 visa, because I believe that's what you use, right?
Yeah. So can you give me a minute? I don't think you're actually live. I think you still have it in private. Is that how you want it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So about the K1 visa, I'll just hop and tell you about all these, maybe a few requirements. Sorry, my daughter will keep hopping in and out. So
That's fine.
okay, so I'm just going to go through a bit of the requirements, just a few of the requirements, just to let you know, give you a highlight of what to expect and what to have. If I don't mention all the requirements, please, enlighten yourself, go read. But a few of the basic requirements is, of course, one of the partners that is petitioning must be a U.S. citizen. And if it's a U.S. citizen, that means not a green card holder, but already a U.S. citizen. And then once they petition, they make sure that they are free to marry.
Yes.
So you can't be married. If you're divorced and you've been married before, you must provide the documents to show that you're actually legally divorced.
Yes.
So that is another requirement. And then thirdly, you must be ready to marry within 90 days. That's why it's called a 90-day fiancé visa, because they give you the ultimate. You give the ultimatum of getting married within the 3 months, 90 days.
Yes.
So once the person arrives, the alien applicant or the person coming from the other countries arrives in the US, you will be required to get married within the 90 days.
Yes.
And then once you do that, then you apply for adjustment of status, or what we call apply for a green card or a permanent resident card. So those are the basics. And then what else? Then also the person petitioning, who is a US citizen, must be earning above the poverty line. So
Yes.
they will check out on that. And I mean, most people earn above the poverty line, so that shouldn't, if you're working. So yeah, so let me remember, all these are off head. So if I forget something, you can just go and Google through about the requirements. But that is
Yes.
what I am thinking of. Oh, another major thing to consider is you must have met physically with your fiance physically
Yes.
within at least 2 years. You must have evidence that you've physically been together. So it can't be like a chat online. So you have to provide evidence. It can be pictures, it can be travel documents. Maybe you've used a bus or a ticket together, or you've rented a house together, something to prove that the relationship is legitimate.
So for you, did you meet your fiance? Was it here already, or he was back in Uganda?
We met back home in Uganda. He was working as a volunteer with Peace Corps in the
Okay.
education sector. So that's how we met, and then eventually decided to do the K1 because it's actually quicker than the spouse visa, depending on what your priorities are.
Oh, so this is is K1 the fiance? The fiance is different from the marriage when you're married.
Yes. The
Yeah.
K1 is a fiancé visa, which allows you for the fiancé to come to the US and then get married. So, and then the spouse visa is you can get married from the country where your fiancé is and then apply for a spouse visa. The spouse visa, actually, you apply and you get the green card. You don't have to actually come and do the readjustment of status. So you already have the green card. Once you arrive, within a few months or days, you'd receive your green card. And actually, when you travel and come on the spouse visa, you're actually even allowed to work, I believe. You can apply for work authorization and you start to work. You don't have to wait too long.
Okay, so when you apply, like for you, you met in Uganda. When you apply, does your fiancé has to be there with you, or they can travel and leave you there when you're still processing the document?
So technically, the person applying should be applying from the US because you're sending the documents to the US embassy. I'm sorry, that is what happens when I'm filming my videos on my channel.
Okay.
She comes, gives me snacks, and wants to be a part of this. So yeah.
So your fiancé, he left, and as long as you kind of work together as a team, you know what
Yeah, so technically he has to be in the US. So we met in Uganda. You gather all documents, and then he has to be in the States to apply and take the documents to the US embassy.
Okay.
Then they get approved. So everything is done online. It's not about
I'm just laughing because your daughter is busy. Yeah. So anyway, like these documents, would you mind to tell our viewer, because they would want to know, you talked about income, so they would prove their income. Do you, did you have to prove your income or their income?
It's for the petitioner. So the person petitioning for you to come and live with them, they must prove that they're able to take care of you. That's the whole point. So they don't really care about the person coming, but the US citizen, the petitioner.
So they won't ask for your statement yourself?
No.
Because somebody was asking me, Betty, when I'm filing, do they ask for my statement? That's why I want to make sure I clear it out.
No, so they don't ask for that, and that only is required, I believe, if you're doing that travel tourist visa. They would want to see your statements to see if you're able to sustain yourself once you travel to countries. But otherwise, for this K1 visa, you're not required to provide your income statements.
So how long is the process? Is it too expensive, the whole process of because I believe you have to gather everything, the pictures, the things you've done together, and also when you go for appointments, I believe you do other things like medicals and stuff. How long is it, and is it expensive?
You really have to brace yourself with enough money, because with all these visas, especially with, I don't know about other countries, but the US visas, they
Yeah.
are quite pricey. That is for
Yes.
sure. So I don't want to mislead anyone. So
Mm.
just plan about enough, at least 1,000 for the start, because you
Yes.
have to pay for the medical, then you have to pay the visa fees. And then
Mm.
as for me, I doing it from Uganda, we don't have a consular that
Yes.
actually does interviews for green card and also K1 visa. So I had to
Yes.
fly from Uganda to Nairobi and live
Mm.
there for about 3 weeks before I get to know if I'm approved or not. So all
Mm.
these are expenses to expect. So once
Yes.
you apply, you save up a bit of money just
Mm.
for all these expenses that come within. You have to do medical, you pay for that, you have to do the visa, you have to pay the visa fees, then you also
Mm.
have to travel here and there.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know the exact amount, but looking at around $500 for the start for all
Mm.
these before you actually, because remember, once you
Mm.
pay all these fees and you
Mm.
actually you buy the ticket, of course, and come to the US, you're going to
Yes.
pay more money for the readjustment of status. Once you apply for the green card, that is more money.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I don't know the amount offhand, but
Mm.
for the start, you can plan for about $700 to begin
Yes.
with. Of course,
Mm.
without the ticketing money. That is
Mm.
just for the visa and all these medical. And then that is actually not enough. I said 1,000. I look at $1,000 because you have
Mm.
to travel. Depending on
Ye-
where you are, you have to travel back and forth to the embassy and back. So yeah,
Yes.
so before you come to the US, plan for at least 1,000 or at least about $800.
Okay. And the process for you, I know everybody with the visa story, the process, the times are different. So for you, it took you like around, would you, like how do
Yeah,
you
I
know?
remember. I think, let me see. I would estimate it took us about 5 months, I would say. So
Mm-hmm.
ours was a bit shorter than the amount of time that is on the website. Usually they say seven. I think they say 5 to 7 months or 7 months. Yeah, I think 5 to 7. So ours was, yeah, it wasn't too long.
Not too bad.
Hmm.
Okay, wow. I'm so glad that yeah, like yours went so fast and others people come up with stories that it got complicated. Do you know why they would somebody their case will be complicated or they'll get a chance of getting denied? Do you know why?
So what I've noticed from my own experience is,
Mm.
what once the US embassy is very strict with the evidence that you provide, depending on what type of visa you are requesting for. So be
Yes.
truthful to yourself, provide
Yes.
whatever documents they ask you for. For example,
Mhm.
for ours, they had to ask us for proof that our relationship was legitimate. Oh my goodness, this English. So
Yeah.
we had to get pictures from Instagram, from Facebook.
Mm.
Gladly, we are both on the internet. So
Yeah.
we take pictures from months and months ago or a year ago. We have the
Yeah.
memories coming up. We took a screenshot. We went to
Mm.
Instagram. We had a post. So you must provide all these evidences. You can even provide your chats, online.
Mm.
And like just a bit of the detail to show that you've been together. And
Yeah.
then besides, and then what else would yeah, I
Receipt.
think that is it. And then of course, if the petitioner is earning above the poverty line,
Mm.
that also could disqualify the person if they are earning not enough to sustain the spouse.
Yeah.
um, I mean, so when you read on the requirements that somebody should have to apply for the fiancé visa, if you fall short of those, that
Mm.
can be one reason why you could be denied. And if you have everything and they still deny you,
Mm.
I would say everyone's situation is different and the circumstances. So I wouldn't say, oh, because we're approved within 5 months, everyone else is going to be approved within 5 months. I have friends that applied and took longer, like quite a longer time.
Mm.
So yeah, it's different. But once you have everything, really, If you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, just pray, just believe, be positive, and don't panic. Once you go there, they'll ask you, for example, for me, it was really quite simple and so fast. They'll just ask you, so what's your fiancé name? You tell them, oh, where did you meet? Oh, do you know this? Just, to make sure you're confident. It's
Yes.
just like any other visa interview. So, yeah.
Yeah. I know, like sometimes some people might tell the lie and think, oh, because I'm married in Africa, I better just tell them I'm not married just for me to go, or ignore their previous marriages, because some people might not know that the system works. And what would you tell somebody about that, like about the telling lies about they were married? Or
unless they were not legally married, because in Africa, if you just do the traditional wedding, sometimes we call that a marriage, but on paper it's not. So for somebody that doesn't have a documentation from the state, that they are legally married, that is not a marriage according to the US law, or even I think even the Ugandan or African law. If you have no proof, no paperwork to show that you've married this person, there's no vows. So I think that's okay. But if you went to if you have a document to show that this is a marriage certificate, then you're lying. So if you're lying and you've been married, you can't remarry. Like, that's the law. So if you lie and they find out that you're married and you didn't provide that, and you also said you're not married when you are, of course they're going to deny you. And that also bridges the chances of you ever traveling to that very country. That's the problem. Once you apply and you get denied, you try again and again, they will keep, it's a red flag. So don't do that, guys. Don't do it.
So what about if you're sorry to keep taking you back, but what about if your spouse, if your partner, the petitioner, is not making enough, and he's serious and he's genuine and everything, can somebody come in and try to help? Can they use a relative?
So that's a very good question. I actually thought I had talked about it. So yes, very possible. So once you are not earning enough, and you've been away from the country, and you don't have proof of the taxes for the previous how many years they want, so you can get a sponsor. And this sponsoring partner, you prove the relationship between you and this person sponsoring you. So they will provide the details which you would have provided. If that makes sense. So they're going to show their taxes, how they filed their taxes. They will need to show their banking statements. So all the details that you would have provided, they will have to provide, and also prove that they are willing to sponsor you. And then they'll need details like their addresses and just anything.
Yeah.
So that is very possible.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a friend, but this is from UK. I know their partner is not making enough. So this video is gonna help them a lot. So I'm so sorry, Liz. I keep doing that because I have this cold. It's annoying.
I hope you feel better. I told you yesterday I was also feeling down, and my worry was, I hope it's not COVID. It's not, and it wasn't.
Okay, so I know I'm so sorry. I know you had talked about culture shock. I listened to your other video with Chico, and you talked about this embarrassing moment with about Halloween, and I was laughing. I thought you could try and share that, and I'll tell you my embarrassing moment too here in the US.
So what I remember quite well, of course now I'm like kind of quite acquainted now, but before, when I first came, we don't celebrate Halloween back home in Uganda. I don't want to say Africa. Africa is big, it's a continent. So back in Uganda, we don't celebrate Halloween. Well, a few that do, it's just because of the exposure on the internet, or how the world is growing really fast. But naturally, people on the community don't care so much for Halloween, and they don't celebrate it. So once I came here, it was a shock to see how people were decorating, and oh my goodness, they're getting crazy.
Yes.
And then we even went to the pumpkin patch and did all these things. So one day I was home. That time I wasn't actually working yet, so I was cleaning. I was in the compound playing with my daughter, and then we went on a walk, and I saw the neighbor's house. They had a huge coffin, black with a cross, and it was on the doorsteps. So I felt so bad. I thought somebody had died, so it was like an actual coffin. So I was like, oh my goodness, I need to go and say hi to these people and send my condolences. So before I did that, you have a something is telling you, your instincts tell you, what, just hold on, just wait. Because it was the house next door. So I waited. I was like, you know what, it's just an hour before my husband returns. So let me wait for him so we can go there together. Yeah, before I even got out of the car, I was like, you know what, the neighbors lost somebody. So before you actually go inside, I was thinking, let's go over there. And we just I don't know how they call it, but you just say our condolences. We just tell them sorry, and if they need anything, we can help them. They are nice neighbors. So he's like, but who told you that somebody died? Then I said, you know what, you just come, I show you. So I show him, and the laughter. He looked at it and he said, this is why you think somebody died in that house? I said, yeah, because it's a coffin. They said, no, honey, that's a Halloween decoration.
Even that reminded me, my neighbors, they put so even crosses, rest in peace, like you might think it's crazy.
Yes. So if you're not used to that, I wasn't used to that. And then even in the neighborhood, people go crazy. They put coffins, they dig down, and they put actual coffins, and it's just like, so for us in Africa, since we don't celebrate death, like nobody jokes about death. So to me, it was like, that was like the first shock, and I've never forgotten that day.
and the skeletons, people like like dead people's skeletons all over the front yard.
Yeah, on the front yard, on the house, even in the windows, and it's crazy. So I remember that, and I always laugh at myself.
Oh, that made me laugh. I'll tell you my embarrassing moment. You know what? When I came here, I was laughing because I called one of my friends, and I was like, oh, you know what? I kept seeing the yard sale. So me, I was like, oh, and garage sale. So I thought they're selling their garage, and then I thought they're selling the yard, the piece of land. I kept saying, why are these people selling their garage?
Why are they selling their yard or the garage?
And then I said, people are selling land here. I said, why? How come? I said, oh, yards everywhere is signs of yard sale. This friend of mine, they started making fun of me. They say, oh, do you know how much is the yards there? And I said, I don't know. I might go and ask how much is the price. It's so funny.
I know, that's so funny. Yeah, that's I have so many funny moments. I think I should actually make a video of all these embarrassing, funny moments in traveling, living away from home and different culture, because I have so many. Even with the fact that it's a different accent, even with that, I have a whole new I want to do a whole new video, because Betty, once I started doing this job, so I do customer service.
Yeah.
So that means I talk to people every day. The first 3 months, I couldn't understand anything.
Yeah.
The accent was just too much, especially with the Black Americans.
Yeah.
It's like a different diction. I don't know what it is, but they were like so fast, and it's like every step have their own accent. Right now, of course, I understand and it's different wording, but at the start I could listen in and even increase the volume, and I'd be like, you know what? I don't know what they're saying. So how am I going to help these people? But within like the first 3 weeks, that was a hassle. But eventually, I got used to it. And even when I'm talking and helping people now, I don't even sound the way I sound right now, because now this is me. But when I go to work, I have to sound like them, because you want them to understand. So now if you listen to me, I'll be talking, thank you for calling, blah, 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 blah. This is Elizabeth. Oh, you'd say, oh, is this Elizabeth that was on the show? On Becky's show?
Yeah.
It was so hard for them to understand me. And of course, it's frustrating because they keep saying, what now? Like, what is that? What is that? Especially, let me tell you one. For example, how we said date of birth from home.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't understand that at all. What is your date of birth? They're like, what?
Mm.
What is that?
Mm.
So I had to learn how to say, what is your date of birth? What is
God.
your date of birth? May I know, a few things here and then, and it was so hard because I remember asking my husband, can you keep saying it so that I get it? I know how to say, because tomorrow I don't want somebody to say, what is that? Like, what are you asking? I don't understand you. And of course, even you want them to understand you because you're helping them. So
Yes.
if you call a customer service, you want them to help you, right? So if
Yes.
somebody is not understanding you, it's both ways, you're all getting frustrated. So those are the few things. I think I should make a compilation of a few of those moments.
I think we should bring you back and bring us all stories and share. Because you know what? Yeah, you're right about the accent. Sometimes you say something to somebody and they're like, "What? What?" And they really don't understand what you're
They
talking about.
don't.
So it's
And you
like, can
can't blame them because even you, it's hard for you to understand them sometimes. But
you?
for now, really, I understand everything. But yeah, like I said, you can say hi to people. It's a
Hi.
bit.
Hi.
That's Betty.
So
Say hello, Betty.
Hello, baby.
hi. What's your name?
Duna.
Duna.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
Say nice to meet you.
and me too.
Okay.
Say
So,
bye bye.
Liz, you want to tell people where they can find you so that we give you time for baby?
Yeah.
So just you can go to YouTube, type in my name, Row with Liz. You will find me. Check out my videos. Leave me a comment that you
Yeah.
came from Betty's channel. I
Yeah.
will know and appreciate. And you
And
can
guys,
subscribe.
Mom is so loud.
so guys, please subscribe to Liz's channel. She has good content she will share with you. And you can see she's not hiding you guys about this K1. This is she's comfortable with because she has done it, right? You know, once you've gone through this, she has done this process, so she knows. Well, she's not a migration lawyer or anything, but she can give you some, if you ask a question, I'm sure you can help to
I
answer.
would share from my experience, yes, but
Yeah,
not. Yeah, if it's too much, then I'll just say go and ask a lawyer or read on the website and get the actual information, just to share our experiences, to make it easy for people to understand that, you know what, you can do it. There's nothing complicated.
there's nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And support this girl, guys, by subscribing to her channel and liking and sharing her videos. And we thank you so much once again for being here with us today, Liz. And that's gonna be it, guys. Have a good day. God bless you all, and we love you. Thank you.